All right, so this is week two, and in week two, we're going to study, we're going to complete talking about solving linear equations. Then there are some application problems that you're going to learn about. And then at the end of week two, you're going to learn how to solve linear inequalities and compound inequalities. So let's look at what you need to be able to do on Monday, or what you should do on Monday. First of all, if you haven't downloaded Proctorio, make sure you do that. That was something you had to do during week one. You will need to use this for test one and any quizzes that is given before then or after then. If you now there are few of you, two or three of you that still have not purchased the Alex code or used the 2 week free trial. Um, you need to do that because your Alex assignments are done week by week. BRCC does it to where after week one that um, ends, and the second assignment, the second objective starts week two. There is no way I can go back and extend that first assignment. Each assignment in Alex requires that you complete the previous assignment. So it's very important that you begin on Monday. I think it's item number four. Item number four, if you look at it, it says begin Alex assignment objective number two. Now, Alex will allow you to go back and continue working on previous objectives, but that does not affect your Alex assignment grade. So, so make sure you are keeping up with the week's objective. So we're in week two, so work on objective two. Make sure you complete those before you go back and do anything else from Alex in previous weeks. Okay, so then the fifth thing you're going to do is you're going to study lessons 3 and 4 of section 2.2. That's on classifying linear equations. So when you go to it, this is what you see. So there are 5 lessons there, but that part indicated study lessons 1 and 2. Okay, so let's go back to the home page. All right, so let me go back to the agenda. I'm sorry. Um, so, so study lessons 3 and 4. So let me go back to that. So lessons 3 and 4 is where um, you talk about conditional equations, identities, and contradictions. That should be contradictions. And then lesson 4 discusses how to recognize if an equation has no solution or an infinite number of solutions. All right, so I'm going to go back and use the back arrow. And then item 6 says study lesson 5. Okay, so once you study lesson 5, that's the one that deals with the distributive property. And item 7 video says study the lessons for section 10.3, which is solving linear equations with fractions. So when you go to lesson 10.3, that's this one here, that's one with fractions. Those are your 2 lessons. Notice the videos are there and the notes are there. All right, so I'm going to go use the back arrow. Okay, so then on Tuesday, this is where you have to continue working on the Alex assignment, and then you have a continuation section 10.3. That's the one on decimals. Now, one thing you're going to learn about the part on decimals is that in this lesson you're basically clearing the decimals. So you're going to multiply both sides by a multiple of 10. That's the purpose of this lesson. All right, so I'm going to go to the back arrow, and then item 3 videos is where you start talking about application problems. Those are not difficult. So when you get to section 10.4, just make sure you look at lesson 1. Now this part says if you need more examples, then go to lesson 2. Okay. All right, so let me go back to the back arrow, and then item 4 says this. This is one of the worksheets you have to turn in. So when you click on 10.3 worksheet 1, and you go here to download it, this is a worksheet. There are 2 pages. So this worksheet contains fractions and parentheses, so you know you have to multiply both sides by the LCD. Make sure you follow directions. It says this: I need I need you to show the steps where you are multiplying both sides of the LCD by the LCD and clearing the fractions. That's what those lessons were about. All right. So there are four problems here. Okay. Make sure you follow directions. I don't want to have you lose points. I don't want to take away points from you if you just because you didn't follow directions. So you have to follow directions if you want all your points. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go back um, to the worksheet, and I'm going to use the back arrow to get out of it. And then that's Tuesday. And then Wednesday, you start talking about consecutive integer problems. Those are not difficult, fairly easy. And then you start talking about inequalities. Okay. Now, I forgot to mention, but on Monday there's a worksheet there as well. So Monday's worksheet is due Thursday, September 23rd. So make sure you're working in that. But let me go to Monday's worksheet. So Monday's worksheet is still dealing with linear equations, and when I click on it, let's see, that's this one. So that's the one with just parentheses in it. So you have to use the distributive property. Make sure you show the work though. Okay, it's very important you show the work. All right, so I'm going to go back and you continue on. And then on Thursday, you start talking about inequalities. And then there are two worksheets there that are due. Okay. All right. So that is, in a nutshell, what week two is about. All right. So keep up with the work. Don't fall behind. It's a 12-week course that covers two courses in one. So Math 98 and Math 99. So you got to keep up with it, and you'll be fine. All right, so that is the end of this summary of week two.